So here what we've got is just a quick video just to show us how we can sketch a linear graph when it's in the form of y equals mx. So if we're given the equation of something that is a linear pattern, and we've already looked at the two types of linear patterns that we could have already. We've looked at creating those equations. But if we're given an equation, we can draw or sketch here a corresponding graph to see what kind of output we get. And the purpose of drawing this graph really is just to see what kind of trend is there, what's happening with it, and how can we use it to predict values that might happen in the future. Okay, so just like the whole point in finding our equation, we want to be able to kind of draw some kind of conclusion with it without having to sit and draw lots and lots of pictures to get our answers. So if we want to draw the graph, our first step in doing that is we must construct ourselves a table of values in which to plot. So, for example, what do we mean by this? Well, let's sketch the graph produced by the equation y equals 2x. So, first thing we need to do is we're going to produce a table of values, and this set of values gives us coordinates that we can plot. So we're going to need to draw out some axes as well. And we've got a table of values. Okay, so we need to have, when we're drawing some kind of line or graph like this, we need to have at least 3 things in our x section. So I've gone for 4 just to make sure, but we need to have at least 3, and we'll look at why in just a moment. So what we've said is I'm going to pick some values for x, and I want to find out what value I get for y. Well, the equation can tell me that. Okay, so the equation tells me that y is equal to 2 times whatever x is. So in the first instance, where x is minus 1, 2 times minus 1 would be minus 2, so my y value there is minus 2. And what we're getting every time we do this is we're getting a set of coordinates in the form xy. So the first coordinate I've got is minus 1, minus 2. And I can plot that on my graph. The next x value I've got is 0, and so when I do 2 times 0, I just get 0. And so I get a second set of coordinates of 0, 0. I can plot that on my graph. Thirdly, if x is 1, I can do 2 times 1, and that's going to give me 2. So I've got a set of coordinates 1, 2, again, plot that on our graph. Lastly, if x is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and so we get a coordinate of 2, 4. We plot that in our graph, and we can see from the dots that we've got in our graph, and the marks that are there, it forms a straight line. So all we need to do now is put our straight line through those dots, and we can see the trend. And when we're looking at things in this form, it should produce a straight line. Okay, and this is why we need to include at least our 3 values. Okay, because that way we can check that it does give us the straight line that we are looking for. You can always make a straight line from any 2 points on your graph. Okay, but you need a third point to make sure that you are making the right graph. Okay, that you can actually make a straight line.